My name is Angela Nuss, and you're watching Braintree Cares with Angela. Today, I am in studio with Agnes Lynch, Director of the Braintree Community Food Pantry. Welcome, Agnes.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. Last time you were on air with me was about 2 years ago, so why don't you tell us what's been going on with the food pantry?
Well, the food pantry, again, is open on Wednesdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and we continue to help the needy families of Braintree. Our numbers continue to increase with the economy. We keep thinking that things are going to get better, but as we can see, we're still in a recession, even though they say, the unemployment rate is going down. For our clients, things have remained the same for quite a while.
Wow, that's a bummer to hear. But you're right, given the state of the economy. So is there a big difference since you were in studio with me 2 years ago?
I would say so, especially in the numbers. There are more people out of work. And even those that, if they're not on unemployment and they do have jobs, they're just not making the income that people made years ago. So their food budget is the first place that they become short as far as having money to be able to buy food.
Wow. Yep, I see that every day too myself, so I understand how that can be. So what's the greatest need that you're seeing from your clients these days?
I would say the greatest need that they're experiencing is just trying to make ends meet to pay their bills. Okay. That's, a lot of times they'll come in and they're behind on their electric bill, or they're waiting to get food stamps, or they're waiting to get unemployment. Unfortunately, the system doesn't move as fast as the need. And when they have families to feed, they're looking for someone that can help them right away. And that's, I think, what we're all about.
Yes. So when people come into the food pantry as clients, what can they expect?
When someone comes for the first time, first of all, you have to be a Braintree resident. And then what they do is they're greeted by someone at the door, and they fill out an application. They bring in proof of income, proof of address, if there's children involved, how many children that they have, and the ages. And this basically allows us to see how we can help them and what services we can provide or tell them about that we have in the community. And then once they're seen by someone, they're taken to downstairs where we have the bread room, and each client receives about a 3 to 4 day supply of food. And we also have meats and milk and a lot of other items, toiletries that their food stamps can't purchase.
Okay, so what are some examples of a few things that people get for food supplies?
Our staples are peanut butter and jelly, and canned pasta, which I think most kids like to come home from school and open up a can of macaroni, spaghetti, sauces, beans, tuna fish, canned meats, cheese, grated cheese, cake mixes, juices, breakfast cereal, oatmeal, cream of wheat, you name it. Anything that you and I would eat for breakfast or lunch or dinner is what we try to have on hand for our families.
Great. And how often can the families come in? Once a month, every week, every other month?
It really depends upon the need. If you have no income, of course, we encourage you to come weekly, and then we go from there depending upon how much money that you actually have or what you're receiving, and that's how we qualify you.
Okay. Now, on the other end, what are some of the quote-unquote jobs that the volunteers get involved in?
We have some wonderful volunteers. Again, we've been open going on, this is our 18th year, and we have no paid staff. We're all volunteers. We have a wonderful board of directors, and some of the jobs is unpacking food, checking the dates for expiration before it goes on our shelves. We're really careful as far as what foods come in, and carrying bundles out to cars, walking people into the bread room and showing them what's available. Yeah. So if you want to help, we have some place for everybody.
Awesome. And I know something that you didn't mention is that when people arrive, they're greeted by someone. So we have usually 1 or 2 people greeting. We have people in our extras room, people downstairs. So there's usually, 6 to 10 people there, volunteers needed every week?
Exactly, about 6 to 10, yeah. Last Wednesday night, we had a brownie group that came in and they wanted to drop off food, and they were very excited. I think there was about 15 little ones. And when they saw how much food that we had to go through and to check the things, they ended up staying. So when I went downstairs to see what all the noise was, here they were very busy, marking food, and you know, they didn't know who I was, and I just kind of commented and said, "What are you guys doing?" And one little girl said, "We're marking food." And I said, "Well, excuse me, what are you marking food for?" And they were so cute, and they were really into, we're helping people. And
Oh,
it was
that's great.
really, you know, because they had to be like no more than like 8. And they were
Wow.
just adorable. And it was a blessing for us to have them stay, not only to drop off the food, but for them to really see how the pantry works.
That's great, and the fact they were so involved at such a young age, that's awesome. That's a true testament to the youth in our community.
Exactly.
Because some of our volunteers are in high school, right? High school on up?
That's right. And that's how we met, Angela.
That's correct.
I don't know how many years ago, but...
Well, almost 18 now.
Okay, when we first opened up our doors, it was Braintree High
Wow.
School that came to volunteer, and you're still volunteering, so we must be doing something right, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So something I wanted to touch upon, I guess you mentioned this is the month of Thanksgiving. So do you want to take some time now to thank some people?
Absolutely. Like we said, as we're getting ready for our Thanksgiving meal, we have so much to be thankful for. And at this time, it's easy for us to, you know, to put food on our tables and to look at our families. And if anything, I want to encourage people that no matter what their situation is, find one thing to be thankful for this holiday season and just hold on to that. And I know it's hard for our families because they're worrying about how they're going to pay bills and provide and put a meal on and buy holiday gifts. And you know, the community at large is just wonderful. Braintree, I can't say enough for, between the schools and the churches, and so many businesses that'll come and drop off foods for us, and they've been dropping off turkeys and Stop and Shop and AARP and South Shore Elder Services, South Junior High, East Middle, Braintree High School, the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts and the Brownies. Bin End just donated pies to us. So we're just so thankful to so many people.
That's awesome. Now, do these organizations that you mentioned, do they come in and volunteer one night once in a while, or are they preparing a supper once in a while?
Well, again, we have volunteers that come in. St. Francis is one of our community friends. As a church, they come in about once a month, and they come in and cook for us because we do have that Wednesday night dinner that's free. It's open to the community, and that starts at 5:30 every Wednesday night.
Excellent.
So
So if you're looking for a nice hot meal and some camaraderie with your fellow neighbors, feel free to stop into the First Baptist Church on a Wednesday night around 5:30. Some holiday weeks, they're not quite there, but you can always call ahead. Agnes, how do people get in touch with the food pantry?
They can call my cell phone number, which I have on me 24/7, and that number is 781-277-1609, or they can go onto our webpage, which is pantrydirector@comcast.net.
Do you want to repeat that one more time for the
Sure.
studio audience?
Pantrydirector@comcast.net.